January 3rd, 2026, 2:47 in the morning. A CH-47 Chinook tears through Venezuelan airspace at 180 miles per hour. Inside, Nicolas Maduro sits zip-tied, blindfolded, wearing nothing but silk pajamas. 12 Delta Force operators surround him. His wife, Celia Flores, screams in Spanish beside him. In exactly 43 minutes, the most wanted narco-terrorist in the Western Hemisphere will land on American soil. In 6 hours, he'll be in a federal courtroom. But here's what nobody's asking. How did the United States pull off the impossible? How do you kidnap a sitting president from inside his own palace, protected by Russian S-400 missiles, Cuban intelligence, and 50,000 loyal troops? Before we break down every second of this operation, hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling us where you're watching from and whether you think this was justice or an act of war. Because what you're about to hear will rewrite everything you thought you knew about American military power. This operation didn't start on January 3rd. It didn't even start in 2025. This mission began 5 years ago with a phone call, a betrayal, and $50 million in cash. August 2020, CIA headquarters, Langley, Virginia. An encrypted phone call comes in from Caracas. The caller? A high-ranking officer in Venezuela's Directorate General of Military Counterintelligence. Codename Cardinal. He's been on Maduro's security detail for 8 years. He knows every rotation, every safe house, every escape route. And he's tired of watching his country collapse while Maduro and his generals fly cocaine to Miami and stack euros in Swiss banks. Cardinal wants out. But he wants something first. $50 million. Immunity for his family. And a new life in America. The CIA agrees. Operation Cardinal becomes the most valuable intelligence asset in South America. For the next 4 years, Cardinal feeds the CIA everything. Maduro's daily schedule, his mistresses, his bunkers, the locations of his gold reserves, the names of every Chinese intelligence officer operating in Caracas. But here's the key piece of intelligence Cardinal provides in November 2024. Maduro has stage 2 colon cancer. He's getting treatments in Havana every 6 weeks. Cuban doctors, Russian medications. The trips are secret. Not even his cabinet knows. And every time Maduro leaves for Havana, there's a 36-hour window when palace security drops to 40% capacity. That intelligence sits on a desk at CIA headquarters for 3 months, until Donald Trump returns to the White House. January 20th, 2025, Trump's second inauguration. That night, during a private dinner at the White House, Trump asks CIA Director Bill Burns a simple question.
Can we get Maduro?
Burns pulls out a folder. Operation Cardinal. 5 years of intelligence. Trump reads for 20 minutes. Then he looks up and says 3 words.
Make it happen.
But here's the problem. You can't just fly into Caracas and grab a head of state. Venezuela has Russian-made S-400 air defense systems. They have Cuban intelligence embedded in every government office. They have Chinese surveillance technology monitoring every phone call, every email, every text message in the country. One leak, one intercepted communication, and the mission is over before it starts. So the CIA builds a cover story. They call it Operation Distant Thunder. The official story? The United States is planning massive military exercises in the Caribbean, naval drills, air superiority training, show of force to Cuba and Nicaragua, completely routine. Nobody suspects it's a cover for the largest snatch and grab operation in modern history. March 2025, the USS Iwo Jima, an amphibious assault ship, deploys to the Caribbean. Official mission: counter-narcotics operations. Real mission: floating staging base 70 miles north of Venezuela in international waters. On board, members of JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command, Delta Force, SEAL Team 6, 160 Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, the baddest helicopter pilots on planet Earth. And they start training for one mission: penetrate Caracas airspace, extract one target, get out alive. But they need one more thing. They need Maduro to be in Caracas, not Havana, not hiding in a bunker. They need him exposed. And Trump has a plan for that. November 14th, 2025. Trump calls Maduro directly. No State Department, no diplomats, just Trump. On a secure line, speaking to Maduro in broken Spanish with a translator. Trump offers a deal. Step down peacefully. Go into exile in Cuba or Russia. Keep your money. Keep your freedom. Or stay in power and face consequences. Maduro laughs. He thinks Trump is bluffing. He tells Trump that Venezuela is a sovereign nation, that America has no authority, that he'll die before he surrenders. Trump's response is ice cold.
We'll see about that.
That phone call is recorded, leaked to the press 3 days later. Maduro calls it American imperialism. terrorism. He gives a speech in Caracas, defiant, angry. He vows to stay in power for life. And that's exactly what Trump wanted, because now Maduro feels invincible. Now he gets careless. December 2025. CIA surveillance picks up increased activity. Maduro cancels his December trip to Havana. Why? Because he's meeting with Chinese diplomats. China is offering Venezuela a $10 billion infrastructure deal in exchange for oil rights. It's the biggest deal of Maduro's presidency. He can't miss it. The meeting is scheduled for January 2, 2026 at Miraflores Palace. After the meeting, Maduro plans to fly to Havana for treatment. But here's what Maduro doesn't know. Cardinal has already told the CIA everything. The exact time Maduro will be in the palace. The fact that his personal security will be light because most of his guards will be preparing for the Havana trip. And most importantly, Maduro will be sleeping in the palace that night. Not in a bunker, not in a safe house. In his bedroom, 3rd floor, east wing. That's the window. That's the moment. And Trump gives the execute order. December 31st, 2025. New Year's Eve. While Americans count down to midnight, Trump signs the mission authorization at Mar-a-Lago. Operation Absolute Resolve. Capture Nicolas Maduro. Bring him to American soil. Charge him with narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, money laundering, crimes against humanity. The mission parameters are clear. Capture, not kill. Minimal Venezuelan casualties. 0 American losses. Extraction within 4 hours. Failure is not an option. If the mission goes wrong, if operators are captured, Trump will authorize a full-scale invasion to get them out. 18,000 Marines are standing by in Florida. B-2 bombers are armed and ready. This is not a bluff. January 1st, 2026. Delta Force receives final briefing. The team leader is an operator codenamed Hatchet. 22 years in special operations. If anyone can pull this off, it's Hatchet. His team consists of 40 operators. 12 will breach the palace. 8 will provide overwatch. 20 will secure the perimeter and extraction point. Every operator has studied 3-dimensional models of Miraflores Palace for 6 months. They know every hallway, every staircase, every exit. They've rehearsed the breach 157 times at a replica facility in North Carolina. They know the mission down to the second. But no plan survives first contact. And nobody knows what will happen when boots hit the ground in Caracas. January 2nd, 2026. 11 a.m. Caracas time. Maduro meets with Chinese envoy Li Zhang for 3 hours. They discuss oil contracts, infrastructure investments, military cooperation. By 2 p.m., the meeting ends. Maduro is in a good mood. He's just secured $10 billion for Venezuela. That night, he celebrates with a private dinner. Celia Flores is with him, his closest advisors. By 11 p.m., the advisors leave. By midnight, the palace is quiet. Maduro goes to bed. He has no idea that 70 miles north, on the USS Iwo Jima, 40 Delta Force operators are gearing up. Night vision goggles, suppressed HK-416 rifles, breaching charges, flex cuffs, tactical medical kits. Every piece of equipment checked 3 times. At the same time, 6 F-22 Raptor stealth fighters launch from Homestead Air Force Base in Florida. They arrive over Venezuelan airspace by 10 p.m., flying at 40,000 feet, invisible to radar. Their mission is simple. The moment the operation starts, take out Venezuela's air defense network. S-400 batteries, radar installations, command centers. Without air defenses, Venezuela is blind. Meanwhile, a CIA Reaper drone circles Caracas at 25,000 feet. Thermal imaging cameras watch the palace. Every heat signature mapped. Guard rotations confirmed. Maduro's location verified. 3rd floor, east wing, bedroom. He's asleep. The window is open. January 3rd, 2026, 12:30 a.m. USS Iwo Jima's flight deck roars to life. 6 MH-47 Chinooks spin up their rotors. 8 MH-60 Blackhawks prepare for launch. 4 AH-6 Little Bird gunships load rockets. 40 Delta Force operators board the helicopters. No talking, only hand signals. Hatchet looks at his team. These are the best soldiers America has ever produced. He gives one final order. Bring everyone home. 1 a.m. Launch. The Armada lifts off, flying south toward Venezuela. Low altitude, 150 feet above the black water of the Caribbean. No lights, no radio chatter, total silence. F-22s orbit overhead. 3 Navy destroyers stand by in case Venezuela's Navy tries to intervene. 1:45 a.m. The helicopters cross into Venezuelan waters. Still no detection. Venezuelan radar operators are watching their screens, but they see nothing. The helicopters are flying too low. By the time Venezuelan air defense picks up the signal, it will be too late. 1:58 a.m. 2 minutes to strike. F-22s receive the execute order. They fire. AGM-88 HARM missiles streak toward Venezuelan radar installations. 12 radar sites across Caracas go dark in 9 seconds. Venezuela's air defense network is blind. Nobody in Caracas knows what's coming. 2 a.m. Caracas erupts. Explosions rock Fuerte Tiuna military base. Explosions at Generalissimo Francisco de Miranda Air Base. Explosions at La Guaira port. But these aren't invasion strikes. They're diversions. Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from Navy destroyers offshore, hitting ammunition depots and fuel storage facilities. No casualties. Just noise, fire, chaos. Venezuelan military scrambles. Troops rush toward the bases. Air raid sirens wail across the city. Civilians think it's an invasion. They flee to shelters, to basements, to subway tunnels. Maduro's palace guard rushes toward the explosions, and that's exactly what the Americans want. Because while every Venezuelan soldier is looking at the fires, nobody is watching the palace. 2:03 a.m. 6 Chinooks scream across Caracas airspace at 180 miles per hour, flying 120 feet above the buildings. Civilians look up, terrified. Black helicopters, American helicopters. The rotor wash shakes windows. Car alarms go off across the city. Venezuelan Air Force tries to scramble jets from Valencia Air Base, but it's too late. F-22s are already overhead. Venezuelan pilots receive a radio warning in Spanish. Return to base, or you will be destroyed. They turn back. 2:07 a.m. Lead Chinook reaches Miraflores Palace. The palace is a massive colonial-era building in the center of Caracas, surrounded by walls, guard towers. Normally, 200 soldiers protect it. Tonight, because of the diversionary explosions, only 40 guards remain. They're confused, disorganized, looking toward the fires on the horizon. Nobody's watching the sky. 2:08 a.m. Fast ropes drop from the Chinook. 12 Delta operators slide down onto the palace roof in 8 seconds. 2 palace guards hear the rotor noise. They turn, look up, see the helicopter. Too late. Suppressed gunfire. 2 shots each. The guards drop. The operators move like shadows, breaching the rooftop access door in 4 seconds. Stairwell. Night vision turns the darkness into green light. They descend. 3rd floor, east wing, Maduro's bedroom. Intel says he's alone with his wife. 2 guards outside the door. 2:10 a.m. operators reach the 3rd floor hallway. 2 guards, standing outside Maduro's bedroom, see shapes moving in the darkness. They raise their rifles. Suppressed shots drop them before they can fire. The operators move fast. They've trained for this exact moment 157 times. Muscle memory. No hesitation. 2:12 a.m. They reach Maduro's bedroom door. Solid mahogany. Reinforced steel frame. An operator places a shaped breaching charge on the hinges. 3-second countdown. The explosion is muffled, but powerful. The door blows inward. Smoke fills the room. Inside, Nicolas Maduro sits up in bed, confused, disoriented. Celia Flores screams. 2 operators rush in. One yanks Maduro out of bed, slams him face first onto the floor. Flex cuffs around his wrists, tight. Maduro's face goes pale. He realizes what's happening.
You can't do this. I am the president of Venezuela.
The operator doesn't respond. He just lifts Maduro like a suitcase and moves toward the door. 2:14 a.m. Operators move Maduro and Celia Flores toward the stairwell. They reach the roof. A Chinook hovers overhead, rotors screaming. Fast ropes drop. Operators clip Maduro into a harness. He's lifted into the sky, kicking, screaming. Celia Flores is next. She's silent now, in shock. By 2:16 a.m., all operators are aboard. Extraction complete. The Chinook banks hard, flying north at maximum speed. Venezuelan forces finally realize what happened. Fighter jets scramble from Valencia Air Base, but F-22s intercept them. Venezuelan pilots receive another warning. This time, an F-22 locks onto a Venezuelan Su-30. The Venezuelan pilot sees the missile warning light on his console. He turns back. No shots fired. 2:34 a.m. The helicopters cross into international waters. Venezuelan missiles can't reach them. They're safe. Inside the Chinook, Maduro sits on the floor, zip-tied, blindfolded. He's muttering in Spanish. Prayers, curses, threats. The operators ignore him. Mission accomplished. 3:18 a.m. The Chinooks land on the USS Iwo Jima. Maduro is pulled out, still in his silk pajamas, still zip-tied. DEA agents are waiting. FBI agents photograph him, document everything. A Navy medic checks his vitals. Blood pressure elevated. Heart rate 120. But he's healthy. He'll stand trial. 3:45 a.m. Maduro is placed in a holding cell on the ship. Steel walls, fluorescent lights. He sits on a bench, head in his hands. 30 minutes ago, he was the president of Venezuela. Now he's a prisoner. Celia Flores is in a separate cell, crying. She keeps asking to see her husband. They don't let her. 4:30 a.m. Venezuelan Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez appears on state television, his voice shaking. He calls it an invasion, an act of war. He declares a national emergency, mobilizes the military, demands Maduro's immediate return, but nobody's listening. Russia issues a statement condemning the operation. China protests. The United Nations calls for an emergency meeting, but Maduro is gone, and he's not coming back. 5:47 a.m. A C-17 Globemaster transport plane takes off from the USS Iwo Jima. Destination: Homestead Air Force Base, Florida. Maduro is aboard, now wearing an orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed, feet shackled. He stares out the window as the sun rises over the Caribbean. He's silent now. No more threats, no more curses, just silence. 8:15 a.m. The C-17 lands in Florida. Maduro is transferred to a federal detention facility in Miami, fingerprinted, photographed, processed like any other criminal. By 9 a.m., he's sitting in a cell. Concrete walls, steel bed, toilet in the corner. The man who controlled billions of dollars in drug money. The man who starved his own people while he ate lobster in the presidential palace. Now he's prisoner number 26,437. 11 a.m. Trump holds a press conference at Mar-a-Lago. He's wearing a dark suit, red tie. He looks directly into the camera.
Last night, American forces conducted a precision operation to apprehend Nicolas Maduro, a man responsible for flooding American streets with cocaine, for torturing his own people, for stealing billions of dollars while Venezuelans starved. He thought he was untouchable. He was wrong. This operation was flawless. 0 American casualties. Maduro is now in federal custody and will face trial. Let this be a message to every dictator, every terrorist, every criminal who thinks they can hide from American justice. You can't. We will find you, we will get you, and you will answer for your crimes.
The room erupts with questions. Reporters shouting. Trump smiles, walks off the stage. Mission accomplished. 2 p.m. Maduro appears in federal court in Miami. He's wearing the orange jumpsuit, hands cuffed in front of him. His lawyer, a public defender, stands beside him. The judge reads the charges: narco-terrorism, conspiracy to import 5,000 kilograms of cocaine into the United States, money laundering, crimes against humanity. Maduro pleads not guilty. The judge denies bail. The defendant is a flight risk and a danger to the community. Maduro is remanded to federal custody. Trial date set for June 2026. As Maduro is led out of the courtroom, reporters shout questions. "Do you have anything to say?" Maduro stops, looks at the cameras, and for the first time since his capture, he speaks.
This is illegal. I am the president of Venezuela. The United States has no jurisdiction. This is kidnapping. This is an act of war.
The guards pull him away. The courtroom doors close. By the end of January 3rd, Venezuela is in chaos. The military doesn't know who's in charge. Padrino Lopez tries to assume control, but rival generals challenge him. Protests erupt in Caracas. Some Venezuelans celebrate Maduro's capture. Others riot, calling it American imperialism. The country teeters on the edge of civil war. Russia and China condemn the operation, but take no action. They issue statements. They complain to the United Nations, but they don't intervene because they know the truth. If they try to rescue Maduro, if they send troops or ships or planes, America will respond with overwhelming force, and nobody wants that war.